Right, tell me, Opus 4.5, where are we at? Where's your head at?
Here's the deal. I was after Gemini 3, I was like ready for something where I'm just going to try it and be like, whoa, this changes everything.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way, but that's not in a bad way. I feel like from my testing of Opus, it's been like everything I wanted it to do, it did well. It understood what I wanted from it, it delivered on it, well. So it's the kind of thing that would be like a daily driver. So here's the thing with Gemini 3. I don't know if it's really down to the model quality or if it's down to the context of where the model is, because AI Studio, very cool when you're screwing around with it. If you want to actually launch something though, like here's what I would do personally from my experience. I would export it,
Yeah.
and then I would upload it to GitHub. And then from
Get it
there,
to
no
Claude
more
Code.
AI Studio.
Yeah.
Now I'm working on it in Claude Code. Then, so because of how cool it was, yesterday I reactivated my cursor subscription. It's been a very long time. Started using it, canceled it instantly. Instantly. No comparison. I'm sitting there for 10 minutes waiting for it to do the most basic of things.
So you were using Gemini 3 in cursor, right?
Yeah, sucked.
Yeah.
Horrible. Awful.
Yeah, I do think that. I think you're right. Like the wrapper that it's in, like in AI Studio, it's got all those UI prompts. It's got the context. It's got Nano Banana. It's got Gemini capabilities built into the app. That makes for an incredible experience. To the point where you could just ping someone, like my dad. I said he sent me an app idea, and I said to him, "Look, you can build it now. Go to AI Studio." He sent me back the app. That is incredible, and I think like the caliber that can make. But yeah, obviously there's a difference between doing that in the web, they're getting that deployed, getting it working properly. The gap's closing, but I mean, look, Gemini 3, absolute cracking model.
Yeah.
Opus, it moves quick, as we said. Opus 4.5. Look, it dropped yesterday. Maybe one day, Jules, on this podcast, maybe we'll be able to be like, oh, we got early access. Maybe we got 50 more episodes before we got that clout. But maybe one day, man.
Maybe.
First impressions today. Seems unreal. No, I'm always a Claude man. I'll never doubt Claude. I know whenever the other models are talking, I know Claude's sitting there thinking, look, stay calm. We've got something up our sleeve. I reckon they have it up their sleeve and they wait for the right time to drop it. But it just seems like a absolute monster. I'm working on a bigger project, and some of the stuff I've been doing recently, been having a few blockers here and there, having to, kind of make some changes with Sonnet, but maybe reverting back. Opus today, I gave it a big old prompt. I said, hey, look, we've got a big task. I was like, and I thought that was a good test. Is this going to be able to crunch through? Mate, absolutely blitz through. Yeah, obviously not 100% perfect, but when I made those slight tweaks, I didn't doubt it at all. And super impressed. And like, what was your takeaway? Like, you had a good takeaway comparing it to a RAV4.
Yeah, so that's the thing. When I use Gemini, right off the bat, it's like, whoa. You know, when you see like those videos of the Chinese EVs online, it's like there's like a drone coming out of the top, and it's like, it's sick. It's sick. Like, it feels like something totally new. But then if someone came up to you and they're like, hey, do you want to spend 40,000 euros to buy this car? You'd be like, you kind of backtrack on how cool you think it is. In the same way with Gemini, I'm like, it's like, do you want to use this to build a production project? I don't really know. And I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like something that I would want to use in a production build. Opus, on the other hand, it just felt perfect. Like I said, with a RAV4, you'll go in the car. It's a car. What do you expect? It's a car. It drives. It's got an infotainment system. It's got, normal features. It's nothing groundbreaking. Mm-hmm. But then if I'm like, you want to spend 40,000 euros on this, you do. Because it does everything you need it to do, and it does everything you need it to do well. That's how I feel about Opus. So I'm very excited for my actual production projects. It's not as like shiny, I feel like, as Gemini 3, but everything that I tried to do, it just did it well in the environment that I like. You can't compare Claude Code to
it just works.
tools.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they're also going after like dev tool market. They're going after engineers who are using Claude Code for production apps, and they kind of know that these developers don't like the shiny singing, dancing, vibe coding tools. That's not what resonates with them. Whereas Gemini 3 is like trying to like get that vibe code market, build one-shot apps. To be fair, we're all about the one-shot apps. But yeah, Claude is just, it's humble, and it seems to just be working. I can't wait to keep building with it. And kudos to Claude for being generous with those limits as well. I was getting a bit of range anxiety this morning. Like, I was sending a few prompts and I was like, is this prompt worthy of Opus? Because traditionally it runs out quick and then you have to go touch grass for a while and then come back.
Yeah.
But what were you saying? They've made it the same usage cap as Sonnet.
Apparently, and also the pricing looks pretty reasonable, which is shocking for an Anthropic model. Like, every time Anthropic releases a model, it's like, yeah, it's the most expensive one out there, but you don't care. You're going to pay us anyways.
Yeah. And to be fair, like, I do feel like however expensive these models get, if they are that good, it's always going to be insane value if you compare it to a mid-level engineer, a run-of-the-mill mid-level engineer and their day rate. Like, if you compare it to that, then you literally...
How much Claude would you have to rip in order to get like 300, 400 euros?
You'd have to do pretty good, man. You'd have to have a busy day.
Right, man. That was a good test.
Yeah, come on. Let's do some building. Let's do some testing. What about because what I actually wanted to do was I've got this clips project where I've been making clips programmatically with Claude Code. Like Claude Code wrote this kind of Python script, different stages using a bunch of different tools. I've got an existing project with that, but I'm starting fresh. Like I'm doing a new version. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've got no follow-up. Let's do it.
Cool. I literally wanted to rip this anyway. So this is what I tweeted about. Let me share this screen. And the benefit is... Where did I tweet this? Okay, so yeah, obviously you saw this, right?
Yeah.
I was just vibe coding over the weekend. And I've been using Claude as a video editor. And what I did when I was doing my 30-day challenge, I was using this to basically edit out all like the silences and combine all the videos.
Yeah.
So it meant the final edit was a lot quicker. But, you know, we've obviously got our one-shot podcast, first 3 episodes. Our Gemini one did pretty good, but I want to make some clips, get the word out there, get promoting it a bit. And I ran it through Opus Clips and I wasn't that impressed, man. I wasn't that impressed, so I did this and got some pretty good outcomes initially. Then you start getting a bit excited with the vibe code and you're like, oh yeah, let's do these subtitles, let's do this zoom, let's do a better hook. I got a bit carried away. It got a bit messy. So like, I think a good tip in vibe coding is like, go crazy and then take a step back, look what works, look what you should be doing, and then take a fresh approach.
Yeah.
Sounds about right?
Yeah. And keep your goal simple to start. You know what we say, Alex. You know what we say.
Reduce the scope. Okay. We'll give ourselves about an hour here and we'll see where we can get to. So we've got, what would be a good outcome, clips-wise? What would be a good outcome?
I mean, you post quite a bit more clips. I guess it's hard to say. It's hard to say because I don't personally make or post that many short clips. If you're asking me something that I would love to have, any sort of talking head video is made infinitely more watchable with, you know when it like zooms in on your face, like you say something and it zooms in a bit more and then a bit more and then it goes out. That literally makes videos so much easier to follow. It's so hard to explain. I would love something that could do that for me automatically. That when I'm thinking of a video editor or with video editing with AI, because if I do that, it takes me, just for those zooms, it takes me like an hour for a 5-minute video. And I feel like that's something that AI could very easily do, is kind of understand like when something is like emphasis should be put on it and then zoom in. That's what I'm thinking, but you
like that
for your clips. So
I like that. No, I like that. I'm literally fucked with storage. It's so bad. I actually want to build. Maybe I should have built that, a storage optimizer. I'm super storage poor, man.
I'd be really scared of a vibe coded storage optimizer. Terrified.
What, even with Opus?
Yeah. I mean, if it was running Opus to go through and find things you don't need, but it's like, how does it know what you need and don't need?
Actually, that. So I'm saying we've been working on a clip maker. Please take stock and look at docs of our current setup. I'm prepping for an overhaul. So I always like, before I start a new phase of work, to like get that AI up to context with everything. And I don't know about you, but when I build with Claude, I make a lot of .md files so I can kind of save state of where we're at, both for me, to give context to me, and to give context to Claude. So now Opus is going to go through and basically look at our current setup, the one that got a bit messy, the one that did work in places, but let's see if Opus can really just deliver and create clips for us. What would be cool at the end of this is if we get some clips that we can start posting by the end of the episode.
I think we could do it. I think we could.
And you know what? You know what? Like, this isn't a typical, hey, like, we're going to use Claude to build a web app. It's not a typical web app like that. I actually think it's a lot more impressive. It's more technical. We're using kind of back-end systems, back-end stacks here, different libraries, different AI libraries. Like, we're using like face mesh detection. We're using a bunch of other like more complex audio and video tech. We're using FFmpeg, Remotion perhaps. There's so many different libraries. There's so many moving parts. I think that's why when I posted this on Twitter that I'm building this, people are a bit like, oh shit, like, that's actually quite interesting. So maybe this is like, I don't know, this is the new flow. And, you know, there's obviously web apps that do this. You can obviously put this into a web app, but the meat and potatoes of this is this backend flow, this process that takes an hour of content, finds interesting bits that could be clipped, clips them, changes the aspect ratio, does face detect. They're like, it is actually quite a complex pipeline. And imagine how long this would take to do.
Everyone is making like a B2B SaaS web app right now. I feel like that's just the standard of what people are doing. But the interesting thing is that now anybody can build software of some sort. Actually, on that note, when it comes to the whole anyone can build software thing, it's really interesting because if you ask me how much I know about development from being a vibe coder, it's like, I would tell you not much. But when I see someone who is new to it, trying to build something, it's interesting how much you know in comparison just from having learned, like, don't do this, don't allow Claude to do this, do allow Claude to do that, be consistent with this. Like, it's interesting because if you were to ask right now someone who's new to vibe coding to build something like what you're describing, like, yeah, anyone can go ahead, build a calculator, to-do list, like that. They absolutely could not do what you're about to do right now. The complexity goes up, but at the same time, on a technical level, how well do you even understand these tools? Probably not very much.
I do have a bit of an unfair advantage where I didn't build this. Engineers I work with built this. I was a product manager for a team that built Eclipse process.
You know a thing or two about video editing, I guess.
But again, like, I don't know. I've not implemented these models. I would never be able to code like FFmpeg functions. Like, no.
Yeah.
What I've done here is, and I've actually been using, ChatGPT for architecture. And I've kind of basically taken stock of what I got with ChatGPT because I feel like ChatGPT is good at having kind of more current facts. The web search is better. I feel like it will suggest better libraries for like face recognition and stuff. Should I use this in our build or should I just give Opus the wheel?
Actually, before we do that, I have a question for you. You ever use Grok for anything like this? I don't know anyone who uses Grok for anything except my mother. That being said, it's like, I would assume Grok would have the most up-to-date knowledge, like to see what people are talking about.
Yeah, true that, yeah.
I would honestly, I would give it to Opus. I would get, because now we're looking at 5.1 and I don't know. I hate GPT everything.
Yeah, let me just drop that in as a suggestion.
All right, fine.
Because I had a bit of back and forth and I can't remember exactly what I was kind of going back and forth on specifically.
Okay.
Here's some suggestions from another dev. Is that in there? Take stock of this and then come up plan for a before clip system using, and we have our clip in here, do we? Using the.
So with all the progress that's been being made recently, where do you stand on LLMs either assisting or replacing developers, I should say?
Where do I stand on the replacement?
Like, are you doomsday or do you? I feel like I see a lot of people like, yo, everyone's cooked. We're all losing our jobs. You're done. And then on the other hand, I see people who are like, no. We're all safe. I feel like the truth lies in between there.
I'm having a lot of fun right now building personally, and that's coming from someone who just generally enjoyed building for a long time. I worked with engineers to build. I was a product manager. For me, in that sense, devs have been replaced. I think the traditional like product manager, designer, engineer, I don't know, man. You have that kind of rational mind in your brain that's like, yeah, that could still work. But then I'm like, we're about to vibe code a clip system that took my engineering team months to build. Which kind of, if you take those frames, but then you have to wonder, like, will everyone have, I don't know, will non-technical people have that agency to be doing this sort of stuff? I don't know. I don't feel like I've got a good answer to that.
No.
But I think you can also look at the job hiring, especially like junior engineers, and come to a conclusion based off that.
How are what is a new developer going to be? And the reason I say that is this. You've got those, top 10% of developers right now. They really learned. They had a good technical understanding before AI played any part in the coding process. And so you have those people who are able to manage enterprise products and stuff like that right now. But like, are people still learning the fundamentals of code? Are people still going through the standard process? Those people who do that, I don't think they're getting any jobs right now. So how are they going to move forward? Like what? Okay, so right now you've got senior developers. That's all well and good. Time's going to go by. They're going to retire. What is the next generation of senior developers? The people who are like 15 years old right now, and eventually they're going to be, let's say, senior developers. Like, how does that work? What are they learning right now? Like, are they learning syntax? What are they doing?
I honestly maybe that'd make a good separate episode, man. Because I'd love to actually have a think about it properly, get my thoughts down whilst I'm not trying to read this plan Opus.
All right, you
execution.
read. I'll ponder.
Let's have a look. So it's maybe, do I still have the file? So here's our project here. We've got this podcast here. So it's having a look at the old architecture, and it's saying a few different things. So it's suggesting this new process, single source of truth in the timeline, rich motion graphics. So it's promising some big stuff here. Should I just let it rip? Is the question here.
On one hand, yes, because it's powerful, and on the other hand, no, because that's ridiculous. How would anything be able to complete all this in one go? I say go for it because that's really the thing that's exciting me about Opus. I haven't gone too intense with the testing, but I feel like it's able to plan out and complete big tasks a lot better than anything that I've tried in the past. Like, I feel like I don't need to chunk as much as I used to.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what, when I was testing it this morning, the fact that it could work across like such big scope and not have to do it individually and get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
A mate of mine, George, was saying that Claude Opus is super strong at working with Playwright and doing self-iteration. So like doing a change using Playwright MCP to see the browser, or just Playwright. We won't go into MCP debate. And then kind of self-making changes. So that is sick. I'd love to try that as well. Like where you have this self-guiding loop, because that's where I feel like a big bottleneck is right now, which takes me on to this point. When I've been doing this clip thing, it makes changes, it generates clips, and then it's like, hey, your clip is ready. And I go to the clip and like, you're way out of frame. So then I have to go back and be like, hey, you're out of frame. I did have some success by getting it to take like screenshots of different parts of the clip and then analyzing that, but that wasn't super strong. So I've got this Claude self-diagnosis loop where ideally it can look and analyze by frame the output, so then it can just keep chugging.
Makes sense. Think about the amount of input that goes like frame for frame. Okay, if it's taking like 5 frames out of the video, then fine, but what good is that going to do?
Have you been using planning mode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Less actually these days than I used to.
But you're still not running bypass.
No, dangerously skip permissions.
You're crazy, man.
No, dude, no.
You got too much time. If you,
But
I don't know why
how do you know what's going. Okay, so let me give you an example. I was helping my wife clean up something she made yesterday because Claude decided to build sub projects inside of her project. It was like a habit tracker app, and there was like 4 more habit tracker apps inside the root folder, which is insane. She doesn't know how they got there. I would have seen that and stopped it beforehand. If I had
was she ripping dangerous?
No. She just didn't know what it was doing. Because it says, oh, I'm creating a folder for whatever, and she didn't know. And that's what I was saying about the difference between a vibe coder who has... You know what it is? It's like we don't have knowledge, we have awareness, if that makes sense. We don't have knowledge on how these things work. We have awareness on what these things do. And that's the difference between let's say junior and senior vibe coder. Sounds stupid to say that, but still. And so dangerously skip permissions, man. You don't have any awareness on what's going on. That's the main thing. I feel like my job when I'm working with Claude Code is to like babysit. And if I've got dangerously skip permissions on, there's no babysitting. It'd be like hiring a babysitter and then like handcuffing them to like the stairwell to like watch your toddler like go and break shit around your house. They just have to watch it happen. Like, what, you just sit there?
Have you tried it? Yeah,
I have.
You tried it, okay.
When we were doing that factory experiment, I did, and at the end of the day, I had no idea what was going on. Like, are you watching it, or are you just letting
that factory experiment would have made for a good podcast episode?
Oh, absolutely.
We should do that as the next episode, man. We should do it as
I
the
know,
next
but
episode.
the problem is Claude's limits. Like, I don't think you can just run like 12 terminal windows at the same time anymore without running into a limit in like 20 minutes.
We could on Haiku. Test video, Julian. Riverside project. Yes. What's good? Free layer separation. What's missing? Yeah.
So I don't know how to explain it because when I'm actually watching it, Opus, it doesn't look fast, but it feels a lot faster. Like, it feels like it's doing stuff much, much, much quicker.
What, Opus or in Dangerously Skip?
Opus, not Dangerously Skip. I'm scared of it. Dangerously Skip.
Because Opus, traditionally is quite a bit slower, but it does seem like it's chugging through. Let's see. I mean, look, Jules, how about whilst, because this is just going to be a lot of back-end stuff, do you want to spin something up alongside it so we can have a couple of things cooking?
Yeah. This could be... What is there going to be a UI, or is this all going to work through the terminal, this clip maker?
I think it will work through terminal, but we can definitely spin up a UI.
Yeah, we can make a UI for it. Well, in that note, I'm interested in its ability to build marketing sites.
Okay.
Something that I would love to try. So,
is now the time to try Claude's front-end design skills?
I think now is the time to try Claude's front-end design skills. And actually, from my testing, it goes less crazy than Gemini would, but it's making some nice stuff. I gave it this stupid-ass prompt, man. I felt I was cringing hard when I wrote it, but I did. And it was just like, oh, just make this crazy dynamic design. Yeah. And it wasn't very good. It did not do a very good job at that. But when I'm just like, oh, make a UI for this, it does it. It looks nice. It just does it well. If you try to give it something stupid, you're going to get something stupid in return. But if you give it something clear and well, it's going to do a good job. So what are we naming this?
I'm looking at a pack of cocktail sausages. As if it was going to give me some inspiration, but...
Cocktail sausages. You know what the crazy thing is? You can actually... People think so hard about the name. If we made a sick clip editor right now and named it Cocktail Sausages, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And you build up that name by having such a product. I'm naming it Cocktail Sausages. I don't even care. I don't even know what a cocktail sausage is. Cocktail sausage. Dude, best name I've ever... I mean, I didn't come up with it, but best name I've ever played a part in coming up with.
Let me show... So this design skill... So you got this Claude article, and I'll send it over to you now. I'll send it in this chat. Studio chat. There you go. So basically, the idea here is that before you'd kind of use a sub-agent to do design, and then you'd invoke the sub-agent, which would have all the design stuff. The problem here is passing around the context, which is when we did our factory, we had the problem of passing around all this context throughout the sub-agents. Shit gets lost, agents get confused, everyone's unhappy.
Yeah.
With design skills, you have one main thread of your LLM, so one main like Claude chat, and then it invokes the skill, and all the skill and guidance lives in like its own separate thread. So you don't have to like load all that context into the agent. So it just seems a lot more efficient and it works a lot better. If you want to know more, you can read this long post because it's going to explain it better than I just did. But the installation of skills is actually a little bit funky. Let's see if we can get you set up so you can just like rip that marketing site with Claude skills, because I think that'll be quite impressive to see as well, alongside all this back-end stuff. Front-end skill. If you go to Claude, you got Claude up?
I do. I'm currently starting a project and bringing it into my folder.
If you go to /plugins.
Okay, hold on. /plugins.
You need to add the Claude Code plugins. So if you click add.
Browse and install plugins.
Yeah, so install a plugin, and is it asking for a GitHub?
No, it's saying no marketplace configured. Add a marketplace first.
Yeah, so add a marketplace.
How do you do that?
Share your screen.
All right.
Other
you
people
can't
can
share at the
follow
same
along.
time. It's going to make me take over.
Yeah, all good, all good. Okay, before I share my screen, Claude is still ripping through that, so let's stop there.
All right.
So, yeah, this took me a minute to get... So click escape and then go add marketplace.
Oh, yeah, that's where it is. Makes sense.
Try that GitHub, the one I sent. Send it now. Try that.
What do I just enter this GitHub?
Yeah, give it a
URL?
spin.
Oh, what? Okay. No, I'm interested.
Document skills. We don't want that. Yeah, go example skills.
Okay. Well, I guess I got to restart it.
Restart and see if that includes the front end design skill.
How do I even see that?
Go to plugins. Yep. Install.
Didn't I install this already?
See ya.
Okay. Okay. Dude. Stuck in a loop here.
Go marketplaces, manage marketplaces. Yeah, that is right. And then, right, now just exit out that and say, do we have access to front end design skill? I don't know why they made it. Bear with me here because this is worth...
Yeah. Example skills, front-end design skills designed for creating distinctive production-grade front-end interface with high-end quality. Okay, am I ready?
Okay, well, there we go, man. Yeah, let it rip.
Okay, well, first thing I'm going to do...
When you're like doing something, say, use the front-end design skill, and also make sure you're on Opus. I'm sure you are.
Yeah, I am. See?
Sweet.
Just like that. Yeah, I haven't got any usage limits. I ripped it pretty hard earlier. No issues. So... that I'm happy about, because yeah, like what if Opus was sick and it had the same limits as before? That would have been very sad, because it
I mean, with the $200 max plan, you can get pretty far with that.
Do you have a $200 plan?
I've got the 100 one at the moment. By the way, move your terminal into the middle because we have our cameras on both sides usually.
Can I put it on the right? How am I going to put it in the middle?
Middle is better. It makes the editing life a lot easier.
Well, just blocking my entire screen?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you do that.
Okay. There we go. I was so shocked when I had it install ShadCN with Tailwind v4, and it just did it.
Yeah, that's a big win.
That's a huge win.
That's a big win for the vibe coding community.
At all. Okay, so configured. All right, so big business. npm install. npm run dev. All right, cocktail sausage is in the works. All right.
Nice.
So now, how would you describe this to me?
Well, I'd say the usual flow is you have a nice landing or dashboard or whatever. Do a marketing page and then make it access a dashboard, and then on the dashboard you upload a clip and then like a nice waiting state, and then just use mock data. But I'd say show clips once it's processed.
So-
So that would be interesting to see how it does.
What do you get after you upload your long form content? What is the output?
Well, it's clips, so like 5 to 10 clips with like a description and a title maybe.
All right. So what else does it do for you? Change the aspect ratio.
Yeah, exactly. But again, like you want to just use mock data.
Do I want to use mock data?
Well, you reckon just you want to see if it can just one shot everything is what in one
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. At least to give the
Go
paid
for it. Yeah, yeah, go for it.
All right, so it adds subtitles. Self verifies with Claude. What else would you want to mention?
I'd say use front end design skill.
Already did.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid.
Theme for now. Make it good. That's how you end off your prompt. And I'm gonna do plan. I actually noticed plan mode with Opus. It asked me some really good questions. Like when I asked it to make a dynamic animated crazy homepage, it really was asking like what do I mean by that?
What do you mean?
Examples.
Yeah, I like the question thing. Sometimes it feels like the questions are a bit forced and they're not that useful, but generally it's cool. It's cool direction.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what it's gonna do. Dude, cocktail
Well,
sausage. You know how hyped I am about that name?
It looks good, man. It looks brandable. Whilst that's cooking up, let me just show you nothing that interesting, but we basically have our first render, so we changed a lot of the kind of system that we had before, and this is what we got. It's terrible by design, by the way.
It's horrible. I feel like it's a good
It's
start.
a good start, and I did say, look, I said the clips look awful. It's hard to vibe code and like have context of what's going on this screen and then this screen.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a skill, but no, it's basically saying like, yeah, look, it's meant to be shit. So yeah, that's it, Rick.
All right, we're about to have a plan for designing a distinctive homepage for cocktail sausage.
All right, pull up your screen. It's going to be more interesting for the viewers.
Yep. Let's see.
Again, I'm hoping to upload a clip from this today by the end of this episode. Nice. I like this.
I'm gonna work. All right, so what should the vibe be? Dark and bold, light and clean, playful and vibrant.
Do you know what would be cool there in this exact instance if you had like examples? If you had like visual examples of like websites, even if they were like fake websites or like different Shadcn libraries or different Shadcn themes, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah. Or if it asks you like, hey, provide an example, like what vibe are you going for? Let's see a screenshot.
Yeah.
Thinking dark and bold.
I'm thinking, yeah, I have like a bunch of ideas and we spoke about some of them for design, for like improvements to the design flow. But I wonder how, like, will those ideas be redundant in like now/6 months? Do you see what I mean?
How far AI has gotten when it comes to design is correct. Now, if I tell it, hey, build me a UI for this, it almost always gives me a decent UI. Not great, but decent. Whereas 6 months ago, every time it was garbage and I have to iterate to get it to be okay. Now it's okay and I have to iterate to get it to be like really good and clean and consistent.
Yeah.
Which is huge. So like actually I did a video yesterday with Gemini 3 where what I was doing was actually took a site that was designed and developed by like a Webflow agency, a good Webflow agency. Dude, where'd you go?
I'm back.
All right. Back in business. Where were we?
So you took a site that was designed by an agency, right?
Yeah. And I basically went section for section. I just copied the content, put it into Gemini 3, and I'm like, make a section for this. And at the end, I would say the site that Gemini made in 1 hour was probably 70% as good as the one that was designed and developed by the Webflow agency, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is mad.
Like,
in an hour as well.
Imagine if I did that. And that's the thing nowadays when it comes to just building sites on Webflow, like, because, you know, I mean, you've spent, what's the longest you'd say you've ever spent on a Webflow build?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. Like, definitely had projects go way over a month.
Yeah. Like
Maybe a
your
couple
main
months.
project for an entire month. Yeah. Like what would you get for a vibe coded marketing site if you spent that much time on it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that is mad, and that's what I'm doing at the moment with one of my longer projects, and it feels nice to be able to like make super quick progress, but slow and steady. I think that's a good system for building actually something that's proper solid. But on that point, and I was just going back to your question earlier about replacing devs. I was playing golf with someone and was speaking to him about AI, and he was like, "Oh, do you think like?" I was telling him I used to do web design, like marketing pages for businesses, and he's like, "Oh, do you think that's been replaced by AI?" And I was like, "Of course, that's completely replaced. Like that same thing now, I will do in what I can do in one prompt. Like you can build a sick marketing landing page in a prompt,
Yeah.
whereas like." Even in Webflow, I was like, Webflow, I can do this quick. I can do like a sick page in like a few days, maybe even a day, maybe less. But now it can be one prompt.
Yeah.
That is, come on. If we all put the ego aside, if as web designers, if we all put the code aside, is that not a replacement? I don't know.
It is. It is.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
I've replaced my own Webflow skills. I spent how long as a Webflow developer, and I've replaced my skill. I don't use it very much. Now, understandably, if my job function was working for bigger clients on very well thought out marketing sites for large companies, that wouldn't be the case. Like a big part of it is just due to what I do. But again, if I'm building a landing page now, marketing site, whatever it may be, then I'm using AI to build it. And in that case, the skill that I've spent so long mastering has been replaced.
Yeah.
And how much worse is that going to get? Not worse in a bad way, but like how much more intense? Like at what point are you going to be able to build like awards websites with AI? And how easy is it going to be to do that? Like, is it going to be easy as saying like, yo, make me a sick website for my business. Here's what it does.
But is a nice website even going to be, all websites, new websites just going to be nice, if that makes sense?
Exactly. And then what is nice
Yeah.
in comparison?
Oh, we're getting philosophical here, man.
No, I don't get it because when I was helping my wife fix her vibe coded problems, I realized I'm like, okay, this is why I'm still useful because I'm able to diagnose this stuff and fix it and get to the bottom of it and figure out what it is. But how long until that's no longer the case?
Yeah.
How long until AI is just doing that without you telling it to?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When you go and do help, you're using AI. Oh, okay. We got cocktails. But yeah, you're using AI. Like when I'm on a boot camp, if someone has a technical issue, I say to everyone on the 4 apps in 4 week boot camp, if you have any issue, any blocker at all, tell me and I will help you get unblocked. And I say that with pure confidence. I will help you get completely unblocked, not because I am a convex like Next.js expert. I'm not, but I can use the tools to debug to unblock anyone with those issues.
Yeah.
Which is kind of similar to what you said. But yeah, how long until other people are just good at that? And it's a pretty quick skill to learn, like to debug with AI. Like it doesn't take a long time to build that skill. You just have to do it once or twice, and then you just keep reverting to that.
Yeah.
This is
How
looking
long till
nice.
it's not needed. Like
This
how
is
long
looking
until
nice.
it just does it. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
looking
yeah, sure,
really nice. To be fair, I've only seen the hero section and still kind of working. I'm not going to scroll until it's done. I'm not going to scroll until the prompt is done. Putting themes off with the bash commands, cool. And this is something as well that I was talking to my wife about. She's like, yeah, but how would I have known that? I'm like, that it was making a bunch of nested folders. I'm like, you got to read what it's doing. She's like, yeah, but how do I know that that's a bad thing? I'm like,
Yeah.
you have to learn and understand these things. But then when I'm doing it myself, it's like something seems off with the bash commands. What does that even mean?
But yeah, I think it's just hundreds of hours of doing it. But then maybe that in itself is a cope that we're saying like, but we're we're
Exactly.
okay.
We're better. We just know because we've spent so much time doing it,
Yeah.
And like in the same way that my Webflow skill has been replaced, how long until my vibe coding skills replaced too?
Yeah, but
At
that's
that
why I
point, who
think
am I?
Claude Code is actually, even though it seems a bit more advanced and intimidating to get into, to be working in the terminal, I think it's
Dude, this
worth
is
doing
so
that.
good. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
nice,
cut you off.
nice.
This is so it has some inconsistencies, but it's so good. Continue what you
Wow.
were saying. We'll get to
Yeah,
this.
that is good. Yeah, like I think by even being newer to vibe coding, go for Claude Code, even though it's intimidating. Because it has CLI access, because it has access to your whole project, when you run into issues there, it's a lot easier to get it to debug and solve its own problems. If you run into some weird, like, lovable deployment error, you're kind of like, you're relying on Lovable to fix itself, but it can't really do that because it doesn't have the broader access. So you're kind of stuck in this weird, like, middle zone. And then you know what it's like to use kind of no code apps, these weird edge cases that you're trying to do, and then like no one's really had that problem before, so you're kind of stuck. But with Claude Code, it's so pure, you can just get out of so many different
Anything.
errors. Yeah.
Anything. And that's what I love about it. I don't know what this floating box right here is, to be honest with you. I feel like it was trying to do something with that. First of all, the color scheme and the fonts that it came up with, I love.
Yeah.
Like really, really
I like
clean,
it a lot.
weird button hover here that needs to be fixed.
But I also think this is worth noting that this is Opus with the Claude design skill. So that is worth mentioning.
Look at this bento grid, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is really good. Like shockingly good. It's got some visual inconsistencies. I
I
will
also feel
say.
like the copy is good, like strong. It's like, what was it, turn hours into, what's it saying, the hero?
Turn
Hours
hours
into
into
moments. I
moments.
like it, man.
That's
And those
so
little,
good.
yeah.
Dude, this is better than anything that I've got out of Gemini using this skill. Wait, how can you make other skills? Like, could I make a QA engineer skill that would go through and find these little, problems?
Yeah, well, that's the Playwright thing. So you've got Playwright installed, right?
No, I do not. I could
Okay, so
install
why
it.
don't you do Playwright? Because that's what people are talking about, that this is so good. So then you could get it to self-test and self-fix any of these issues.
Okay.
So why don't we try that, and then after that build the UI dashboard. Whilst you get the Playwright sorted, let me just share my screen to give a quick update on this. Okay, so this has just been chugging away still. I asked for a TLDR of what we got, so it's flexing on itself. It's saying we built a complete V4 Clips engine in one session. So we've got the remotion renders. So we're using built entire engine folder, 17 Python files, FFmpeg layer, YOLO face tracker. Have you seen all the YOLO face tracking stuff? You know, when you have a video and you have all the squares like moving?
No, I have no idea what that is. I may have seen it, but I have no idea what you're talking
It's
about.
this stuff. Hold on, let me show you. It's this here.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, I'm using this tech to track faces to know kind of like who's talking, how to have the face in the center of the frame, which is pretty sick, right?
Yeah.
So that's the YOLO face tracker timeline builder. So everything's going to have the source of truth from there. Okay, so it's going to test. We still haven't got any clips, so I'm going to pass it back to you. But I just wanted to give a quick update on that. So what we need to do with context load. By the way, you're still running auto compact, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. That being said, in defense of auto compact, I do kind of like it because if I didn't have it on, I feel like I'd let it run for way too long. I do not let it auto compact ever, but it allow. Okay.
You want to share your screen rather than
Yeah.
watching me auto compact?
Yeah, I'm just asking for. Okay, yeah, I took the full page screenshot. Excellent. What was I talking about?
2 secs. We were talking about compacting that wasn't very interesting, but more importantly, we were talking about the Playwright.
Yeah, so I got it. Now I can see the full page. Let me start fixing these issues.
Look at that.
Fix the hero floating frames. This thing right here, that is exactly what I said. That was the first thing where I was like, that's bad.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that Claude over here said, oh, that's what it was trying to do.
Wow.
That's what it was going
That
for.
is sick, to be fair.
Yeah, it can't see the hover effect, I'm assuming, because it just takes screenshots.
Well, I think Playwright could, right? that's the cool thing, is that it can go through and interact with the page.
Yeah. Let me fix the how it works arrow.
And the font is
connectors.
nice, bro.
This is a good looking page. This is a very good looking page. Yeah, this stack right here beats Gemini 3 from this test. Fixing features bento grid. What's wrong with the bento grid? Oh. See, the 1, 2, and 3. I feel like I would get rid of the 1, 2, and 3 in here. I feel like it's not necessary and it looks kind of weird.
Yeah, but I kind of fuck with it at the same time. It could have easily just done like the bootstrap 1, you know, flex the elements vertically, have it like super basic. Like it's got some opinion.
It does.
Question is, you see this tomorrow on Twitter? Do you say, "Oh, this is just fucking another AI vibe coded marketing"?
Absolutely not. I would not think that this was vibe coded. It removed something from my bento grid, actually. It said it was fixing it.
Yeah, it might, yeah.
Now it's got to add one more thing to it. Waveform.
It is doing some testing on my side, so starting to create some content. So, I mean, yeah, it has been cooking for a while, but it's a big ask. I like this, man. I think as well, after we could get that dashboard up, and then we'll try and bring it all together at the end. If you push it to GitHub, I'll get over and connected with the back end here.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. How do you okay, so something I've noticed, let's say I add you as a collaborator on GitHub, but I'm serving it through Vercel. It doesn't let you push anything to it unless I add you as a teammate in my Vercel team.
I don't know.
You know why?
I'm a lone wolf.
You haven't run into that issue yet?
Nah.
And then
I've not hired any engineers to work on my projects yet.
I've been working with people on some projects, and I've run into that issue. Dude, this is good. Like, straight up, if you paid a designer like just a few $100, let's say, and you got this out of it, would you be happy with this design?
I'd be happy, man. I'd be happy.
I'd be extremely happy. Really nice hover states. Ready to slice your content, upload your first video, no credit card required for your first 3 videos. Cocktail sausage. It needs a nav bar. It's missing a nav bar.
Maybe.
I've noticed Claude does that. It just doesn't add a nav bar right out of the gate.
I don't mind no nav bar.
No?
Just get them in the mixer, bro. Get them in the mixer.
Yeah, just use the page for navigation.
There's only one thing for a user to do, which is get going.
Yeah.
Face tracking works. Let me check the output. Excellent. Detecting both speakers with 95% confident. Now let's run the full pipeline. Okay.
Now it's adding hover states. I mean, it has hover states already, but I assume it's adding better hover state. Smart clip detection, auto subtitles, multi-format export, AI verification, lightning fast titles and descriptions. What you'll get, copy description. Feature example outputs. Yeah, look at that. It's got X and YouTube. The 2 valid social media platforms. Everything else sucks. Oh, man. Reddit? Garbage. Trash.
Let's get that dashboard cooking.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's still working on the homepage. I feel like this is still needing a little tiny bit of tweaking.
Yeah, but for 2 prompts, it's incredible. For 2 prompts,
yeah, no, it's the best that I've ever. It's crazy how greedy we've gotten, eh?
I know. Compared to 12 months ago.
If you, I'm gonna say, if you 1 year ago showed me this and said that it was built by AI, there's 0 chance I would have believed you. 0. This is so good. Turn hours into moments. This is a gradient, but this is a beautiful gradient. Look, it gave itself a little shout out. Powered by Claude AI. Dude, Playwright's sick. Why am I not using Playwright? Why did I forget about Playwright? Oh, these have hover effects now. Dude. I feel like these could be maybe redesigned.
I think
it made the same mistake in 2 sections in a row. Like, it's missing 1 card. See, here there's one missing, and here there's one missing. That being said, hold up. No, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. Okay. It's just going through it on its own. Like, yeah, this could be better. Showing subtle backgrounds.
so. It's opening the browser in the CLI basically in terminal and checking itself. Like, that is fucking crazy.
This is so good. The branding it came up with too. Dude, look at that. Do you see what year it says?
Yeah.
That's insane. Why does that impress me? Spanning properly with a nice
Let it rip, man.
clip section. I wonder if it's going to fix this. This has been bothering me. If it fixes this,
What does it need? Well, it's got a bit of
this bar at the top. Also, I don't love the color of this.
yeah, but there'd be clips there, wouldn't there? There'd be actual clips.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not like these gradient backgrounds. The hover effect is so nice. The animation, you see how smooth this is?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, and I think that comes from the Claude skills as well, because when it talks about motion, it has like some principles and guidelines that it uses.
Dude.
But I kind of wonder why Claude code doesn't have. Why is Claude. No. Why does it not have that out of the box? I feel like they're missing such a trick by not having those front end design skills just native within Claude code.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that's kind of Claude Code's play, is that
Yeah.
developers like it because they can control it. It's not opinionated, and they
True.
can figure out how they want it to be, which
True
is also
that.
what I like. I feel like I have control over it.
Yeah. I guess if it just used front end design skill all the time, people would be like, oh, why is it cooking so much? Like, I don't want it to look this good. Or,
Yeah. This is shot. So after this, we're moving on to the dashboard.
yes.
Okay, so for the dashboard, let's discuss that before I write the prompt. What is the flow going to be? You upload a video and it just spits out clips? That's it? Or is there any input?
Pretty much. The input is the video. I mean, maybe it'd be cool to have an input for like, hey, like what's any specific clips you want from this. But to be honest, I think let it cook. I think maybe explain like the input, the output, and let Claude Opus and the design skill do the creative. Like maybe let it plan like a super strong UX. Like maybe ask for like, hey, we want to make a super easy UX.
Yeah. I'm just still like blown away with how good this is. Okay, wonderful. Now, exit, enter. The input is video uploaded. Then there's a loading state. Then there's output, read my homepage for more context. Provide a way to view and test the UI, even though right now it doesn't work. Okay. Rip and play in mode. 3 steps to viral content. Upload, AI analyze, get clips. Everything you need, nothing you don't. I'm still amazed with what you said last time we were talking. Like the fact that all this is possible and you don't see all this new stuff being shipped
I know,
is
bro.
crazy.
Still not. Gemini launched. I'm just, yeah, like what? What's the blocker? And maybe if you're not doing it now, like, are you ever going to do it? I don't think so. But you'd think as well, like a lot of people, maybe just on the fringe, maybe they're a designer in tech, maybe they're an engineer, maybe they're a product manager, maybe they're like a HR manager. How are they not building with this shit?
I know people who are like in it, even okay, Webflow developers right now. Like whenever I ask them like, oh, like how much are you using AI in your workflow, and they're like, not that much.
Maybe some people just love the grind of it. They like the craft, and they're not bothered about actually like taking things and putting them out there. Or is it like even posting on social is like a bit of a thing that a lot of people never do. People don't post on Twitter or LinkedIn. So maybe shipping an app is that same friction. Maybe there's even more friction. Who am I to ship an app?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
It might be, and honestly, no. If you're not doing it now, are you ever going to do it? That's a good question. Like, how much easier could it get? And I mean, okay, fine, we're using Claude Code, but like Lovable exists.
Yeah. But you could have said that same thing with Lovable 6 months ago, that like, hey, Lovable is pretty fucking good.
Yeah. But every single time there's a new update, I still just wonder how there are not more people using this. And like, what are we shipping is the question. I have shipped a couple things, but my problem is I don't do enough marketing and I don't pivot enough. And I think the reason is any product that you're building, I think should be something that you have to use yourself frequently.
Yes,
You
100%.
know,
I think
like
that's such a good way to, especially because we can refine stuff so quickly. Like if you're using it yourself, if you're testing it yourself, you know if it's shit or not. If you
yeah,
build like a doctor transcription note process, like you don't really know like how good it's going to be for the doctor, you know.
exactly. No idea. You literally cannot know that. Whereas my translation app, for example, I built it and then I found myself every day using
Yeah.
Google Translate. So I'm like, what's up with this? Why am I doing that? So I pivoted it to a mobile app and I use it every single day now. And I have
Yeah.
refined it very much based on my experience using it. And I now love it and use it all the time. Could it use improvements? Yes. But it's
100%.
actually something that I'm like very confident is going to do well because I use it personally and I know how effective it is. At that point, the question just becomes how many other people are out there that are like me and how can I find those people? Whereas, you know, if I'm marketing something like, okay, for example, at the same time, I made this like mortgage calculator. I'm not in the market of buying a house. In this economy, I'm not buying a house, man. So like, how am I going to turn that into anything really besides just a little tool that sits there? Whereas the translator app, I could actually turn into something. And I think that's where we really need to go as a society is like, who are you? What do you do? What is your outside of technology life? Use that
Yeah.
to build something.
Yeah, that's almost like the next wave, isn't it? Like super niche, specific and helpful apps and products.
Yeah.
But maybe we're at a point where the design tools, the building tools, the dev tools, the design tools are built. So maybe the next thing is like the marketing, like building tools to help people get their shit out there, solving some of the problems you're speaking about, finding relevant people, getting the message to them. I'm building obviously that SEO tool, which is going pretty nice. That's gonna help people build their organic traffic and like a AEO traffic. It's so hard to say AI SEO traffic.
Yeah.
Clips as well, like what we're building right now is that as well as, you know, building tools for like once you've shipped, how are you going to get the word out, you know, talk about
Yeah.
it, clip it up, share it. What other things do you think, what other tools do you think could be built in that sense?
I think before that, the question is these are tools. These are tools that a person can use to build what they already know they want to build, to market what they already know they want to market. Is that the end game? Is that as good as it gets? Or is there a future where it's like, okay, market this product? Is there?
Make no
I don't
mistakes.
think there is. And I'll tell you why, because humans listen to humans. It's that simple. AI cannot do your marketing. I don't think. I might be wrong about that, but that's my top of my head opinion.
Interesting, man. What about if the product is, what about if right now we genuinely built the best clips product and AI is just sharing that message, and then all people have to do is check it out, try it out, and then they're like, okay, sweet, like this is actually legit. Why can't AI spread that message? Why does that need to come from a human?
Excellent point. I don't think it does. If you saw something right now, you knew it came from AI. It was clearly coming from AI, and it's like, look at this product, and you see it and you like it.
Maybe the crux is shit AI marketing cannot sell a shit AI product. Good AI marketing can market a good, well-built AI product.
Yeah. Another thing I think we're
Which is
definitely
not like
moving
much
towards-
of a hot take, is it?
No, but I think what's the there's a term for it. It's like product-led marketing. I think we're very much moving towards that because we just see so much shit every single day, so much marketing every single day from so many different companies.
Yeah, true.
Like,
So what you're saying that, and you know, in theory, products should keep getting way better and better for the end users because the barrier to building is way lower.
yeah,
In the future, now there'll no longer be like 2 clips companies you can go for. There should be hundreds, and the best will surface to the top. It's like on YouTube now. You've got so many people uploading, but Yeah, and YouTube surfaces the best content to the top. I think that's where the AI apps and distribution will go. I think there'll be shitloads, but there'll also be shitloads of awful apps, and maybe there'll be some better algorithms to like surface the good apps. But maybe that just comes from people being like, hey, like this one is the best, because I feel like humans and communities like on Twitter are pretty good at being like, oh yeah, this is the best one, or these two.
Yeah.
Especially Reddit, they love to be like this use this one, and generally they're right.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. I think I'm not seeing that in the marketplace yet. I'm not flooded with different options. If I want to post scheduled tweets, I still don't have loads of options that are like good for me. I think there's still like quite aggressive pricing on that sort of thing. Clips as well. Like I'm not seeing loads of good clips things I can use for like quite low cost, or maybe like open source stuff. So maybe it will just take a bit of time to catch up. But I mean, that's a pretty cool end game for like vibe coded apps.
Yeah. Also, getting like existing software getting better. I'm not seeing it. If anything, I'm seeing the opposite.
Yeah, man, 100%. Like existing software should be having so many new features built, and like so many. They should be like given a lot more value for the same price.
Yeah.
Why is that not happening, bro?
I don't get it. And I swear to you, this has nothing to do with the fact that I work at MemberStack. The only tool that I know that has gotten significantly better since LLM assisted coding came around is MemberStack.
I like that.
Before, okay, so this is already running. So let me tell before I rant about MemberStack. Like before, it was we had payments and that's it. Since then, we've got some. Oh yeah. Hold on. We've got data tables. We've got this MCP. You could do anything without touching the dashboard. Our developer experience as a product has literally gotten. Like, if you ask me right now to go back and use the member stack that I used to use 1 year ago, I can't do it because it's so good now. I don't need to do it. I don't need to touch the dashboard. Our product has literally gotten. Oh, dude, this is so good. Oh my God, this is
wow.
good. Oh my God, this is good. But you know what I'm saying? It's gotten a lot better. Whereas everything else that I'm using, I'm pissed off at Apple right now. iOS 26 is not great at all. And I bought my iPhone 16 because it's the iPhone built for Apple Intelligence. What? You can make me shit emojis that I could literally generate better by using any sort of like AI chat interface? Like it's actually ridiculous. I think that a lot of people who have become developers because they want to be able to have a job where they do fuck all and they feel like they're doing something. And I feel like AI has really just empowered them to do more fuck all than they used to do. And I think that's why we're seeing this. And what I think is going to happen is the people who are going to rise to the top, it has nothing to do with whether or not they're originally a traditional developer. It's the people who look at something and they're like, this needs to be better. I want to see more and better. How many times did I say more and better? It's my favorite AI prompt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the people who are actually determined to make cool, useful shit and who actually care about your experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen with these developers, man. Like,
but it's even like companies that you think would be like super forward facing with this stuff, like apps like Whoop. You know Whoop bands, right? So again, like modern tech company, like a lot of people in tech wear Whoop bands. Like a lot of people adopted them. That app, like just the amount of updates they did was just non-existent. Like I think like I churned a good few months ago, like last year, but all they shipped in that time was like a really shit AI assistant that was just like awful. Like, yeah, I'm sure they've improved that now, but like, why are they not releasing stuff like each month, each week even? I don't, even though they'll have so many developers, something is, that's a weird disconnect right now. And I think you can see that even through X, right? Like, oh, they stripped all their engineers, like they're using, all the engineers are using these tools. What have they shipped? Like they've made some tweaks. I don't know. There's definitely a lag. Maybe it will take a year or two to like come together. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe there's a developer revolution upcoming, as in
Maybe.
these companies are going to stop. Once AI development gets to a certain point, they're going to stop asking people like, you probably see like a lot of companies are doing interviews for engineers right now, and they're like, oh, don't use Cluely. Like, they're kind of like asking them to like take their hands off the computer and like, answer something.
Shut their eyes.
Close your eyes and answer something. I think the hiring processes that lead to shit like that are from current developers who just think that your like syntax knowledge needs to be up to par in order to be a good developer. I think in the near future, it's just going to become like, dude, I don't care. Build me something. See what I have.
Yeah, 100%.
About it and build something better.
My mate had a engineering interview recently, and they made him like write some tests without using AI. What do you think about that?
Why would you do that? Because are you going to be actually using AI when you're on the job, or are they going to be telling you do the same thing? Hey, write test cases for our product without using AI.
Yeah, and also like the management of engineers. I know we're kind of diving into this a bit too much, but if I had like 10 writers writing SEO content, and they did like manually one post a week, cool. If I gave them like Claude Opus 4.5 and said, hey, like this is really good for writing, I'd expect them to do one a day, minimum.
Yeah.
Potentially 2 a day. Our engineer, like, I don't know because I'm not in an org, but I'm curious to see how different orgs have taken that same stance with AI engineering. Hey, you took 2 weeks to like ship a thing before, like 2 years ago. Where is that now? Like, should that take you a day? Or is it like a week? Like, where's your head at?
Literally.
And I think there's going to be a lot of politics. There's going to be a lot of people bullshitting one another. Yeah, I'd be curious to like hear that from orgs, especially like corporate orgs as well.
Dude, look at this thing that we just made. How long? I mean, you worked at a video editing company before. How long would this have taken? Like, let's say you added a new clips tool.
Oh, you know the answer to that, man. You don't need to ask me.
Forever. I think they're getting soft, man. I think they're getting soft. Let me see where you're at, because I think we're just about at time.
I think we're about time. To be honest, Jules, it's not killing it. It's not.
All right. Well, look, we predicted that at the start of this episode, that you're building something insanely complicated and we're trying to do it in an hour. Probably not the best idea, but at the same time, look what I did.
Yeah, yours is lovely. The problem I had here is that I gave it the new stack to use, and now it's kind of like had some issues, so it's gone back to the old stack. It had some issues with face detection, but we'll see what we got here anyway. But as you can see, it's not got your face here, right? It's like doing some panning. So unfortunately, not a big W there. Maybe I'll keep cracking this on and edit on at the end and show the final thing, and we can put it together, because I think we could do that. And no dub there yet.
You know what we should do? Something as well, if you could upload a video and it just gave you, like, you upload a video and it uses Nano Banana to give you like 10 different thumbnails.
Yeah, that's a good show.
It is absurdly good at making thumbnails now. That one that I showed you on the weekend, dude.
Yeah. So
straight up Nano Banana, nothing else.
So what I'm gonna do is chug this along. I'm gonna keep chugging on this, and then maybe I'll do a little wrap up on this, because it would be cool. It would be cool. And you send me that GitHub.
Yep.
Send me the repo. Add me as a collaborator, and then let's see where we can shake this up, because I think we could do something here.
I think we could. If you uploaded a video and it gave you a bunch of thumbnails and clips, that would be insane.
That's nice. Oh man, but yeah, I think the failure point here is that it doesn't have that iteration. Like what you did with the Playwright MCP is sick, because it can see what it's doing. I think this is hard because we've got like a video, and it was developing for ages, but their clip output was like way off what it thought it was doing. So it thought it was like crunching through, but it didn't have that iteration loop. So I think that's where that's failed, and if I can solve that and and feed it back some images, that'd be sick.
I think he'll be able to, but I mean, at the end of the day, as much as we could possibly complain about that, I can tell you one thing, it's going to be a lot easier with Opus than it would have been a day ago.
Yeah, there you go, man.
So,
All right, sweet.
excellent. Well, this is being added to GitHub. I'm adding you as a collaborator, and I would say this was a win.
I think it's a win, man. It's a win for all the vibe coders out there.
One major step for vibe
Oh, man.
coders.
All the best, brother.
Take it easy.